From SHA scandal story.
So mtu amelipia SHA up to December.
To sinkhole along Nakuru-Nairobi highway. Are churches taking advantage of Kenyans?
And they take advantage of young people because they are naive.
Affordable housing scam.
Hata mimi nimebook affordable housing. Nimebook hiyo nyumba.
Umebook wapi?
Si hapa.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm host of today and my name is Elvis Deri. A heated debate on Obina TV show unfolded after a government supporter fumbled to explain affordable housing despite claiming to own a unit. Take a look.
Nikita baya hata mimi nimewitness rafiki yangu. Hata mimi nimebook affordable housing. Nimebook hiyo nyumba.
Umebook wapi?
Si hapa jenga.
So unaenda unabook aje?
Si unalipa pesa deposit.
Wapi?
Si hapo nini? Kwa nini hapa? Si unalipa pesa hapo kwa serikali alafu una nini?
Wapi?
Obina wacha nikwambie.
Wewe umebook affordable housing, umebook aje? Mtu anabook wapi nyumba?
Si unaingia kwa online alafu unapewa direction ndio unabook.
Wapi online wapi?
Obina wacha nikwambie ndugu yangu. Tuache kupiga kitu ambayo
tulia na hii nyumba affordable housing kwanza. Si umebook. Wewe ulibook aje? Na nyumba umebook ni size gani?
Ni one bedroom.
Pesa ngapi?
Nilipa almost 60,000.
Ulilipa 60?
Yeah.
So hiyo nyumba ni pesa ngapi?
Hiyo nyumba ukilipa yote inaweza kuja around kitu kama 200 and something.
Inaweza kuja 200 and something.
Something yeah.
Ukilipa yote.
Unalipa pole.
So for you to have ni 2 bedroom or 1 bedroom?
One bedroom.
For you to have a 1 bedroom in Mukuru kwa Njenga affordable housing, you are required to pay around 200,000.
No, not 200. Ukishagia kwa nyumba, lakini utapata unalipa almost 4,000 per month.
So total cost ya nyumba ni pesa ngapi?
Around 300,000.
300,000.
Yeah. It's very cheap. Sai tulia nyando, tulia. Wewe unaishi kwa mabati bwana.
Okay.
Mabati ni shilingi 1,000, mimi naweza kulipa hata. Tulia tu kwanza.
Na wewe umebook. Mimi
nimebook na hata sasa hivi ninaishi mimi nalipa rent.
Na ulibook through wapi? Ulibook aje?
Wacha nitakupia direction ninabukiwa.
Si Wakenya wengine pia wanataka kubook.
Nitakupia direction.
We all want affordable.
Nitakupia direction.
Even mimi nataka nilipe rent ya
ndio nitakupia direction mtu ambaye anasimamia hiyo kitu. Boss mimi si deal nao sana. Mimi deal naye. So nitakupia direction bila udeal na ongea naye atakuonyesha vile inafanya.
So ulionyeshwa venye utafanya.
Yeah.
But ukumbuki. Mambo ni mingi. Okay.
A Kenyan medical practitioner has exposed on how SHA is failing Kenyans in hospitals after a patriotic Kenyan fully paid for SHA till December but got disappointed in time of need.
Nyanda hospital. So you know what happened? So mtu amelipia SHA up to December. Like yote kabisa. Akaenda hospitali, nija naambiwaje? Mtu wa SHA yuko.
Ati alikuwa amefanya nini?
So SHA iko active. So like your insurance iko active. So na ukienda hospitali utibiwe and you go home. So ameenda hospitali it was around 1 AM kutibiwa. Tunaambia mtu wa SHA yuko.
So easy to
Can you explain that? Unless lipe cash.
Oh, okay. Mtu wa SHA kwani anakuanga 24 hours?
That's not the question. But mbona kukwe na mse wa SHA?
There's no such thing.
Oh yeah, there's no mtu wa SHA.
Ukienda kwa receptionist, kwa reception hapo wanafungwa na angalia nini kama iko active. Which hata unaweza angalia. Si ndio? Once it's active, so utibiwe.
No, but I remember when I used to take my mother to Aga Khan, una desk fulani we used to go to. And then we fill a form, then we leave. Alafu SHA wanatumia NHF wanatuma code kwa mare plus the amount which he qualifies for. So you have to pre-do those things.
But that's something can be done by anybody.
In short, yani for transparency, mtu yote anafaidu. It's just procedure. It's not about huyo mtu.
Like there's no cost lazima ufanye ndio usavu watu wa SHA.
Yes. Juu kama ni hivyo then huyo mtu basi kama ni mtu wa SHA ni nani halo.
Tuashumu basi lazima mtu wa SHA akue. Mnajua hospitali ni 24 hours. Mbona usiku hakuna mtu wa SHA? It's a level 4 hospital.
True. Because it's 24 hours. It's not a...
It's quite clear that Kenyans are tired. A Gen Z decided to confront and lecture SHA staff in a company vehicle roaming the streets.
Hao ndio nakula pesa ya Wakenya. SHA. Ni ndio mnakula pesa ya hospitali? Ni ndio mnakula pesa ya hospitali? Ndio mnakula hospitali za Kenya? Mnakula hospitali ngapi nyinyi? Mnaumiza wa Kenya wewe.
The Cabinet Secretary of Health, Aden Duale, has dared MPs to impeach him, vowing to remain firm in reforming the health sector, ignoring Kenyans' challenges and disappointments.
Ati unatafuta wakora, si ningeimpeachwa kama mimi nakula pesa ya umma. That, by the way, the grounds for impeachment, na mimi nimekaa bunge. The grounds for impeachment is in the constitution. The ground for impeachment is if I allow public resources to be stolen. Lakini unajua mzee anaitwa Michuki alikuwa waziri wa transport. Akasema watu hawatasimama kwa matatu. Watakaa chini na watavaa seat belt. Walivaa au kuvaa? Walivaa au kuvaa? Hii afya kama umezoea kuiba NHIF, wewe ngojea wakati ile President Ruto hayuko na mimi si waziri wa afya. And the Council of Governors are 100% with us. And we will not shy away. And we will not be intimidated by politicians addressing funerals. Na kama mimi ni kukuja hiyo funeral, mimi nitakuja. Kwani funeral nani nizuia? Ukiongea mimi naongea.
Dr. Mumbi Seraki has warned Kenyans that KEMRI has started Kenya's first DNA bank to collect sacred DNA. KEMRI being funded by Bill Gates, the British and the US Army. Listen to what she had to say.
This is for entertainment purposes only, so family. KEMRI has started the first ever DNA bank in Kenya. And of course, they're using the New World Order terminology that now they'll be able to improve, documenting who criminals and having a good database of everyone's DNA. So they're saying so far they're collecting the Bantus, the Kushites, and the Nilots. But this is the New World Order agenda because they know that Kenya is the holy nation family and they're coming for the ancient blood. They're coming for the original ones. And this was actually shared to me by one of our, awakened followers family. And it's so disturbing because if you check who is supporting KEMRI, guess who's there? Billy Gates. He's one of the main supporters. And another disturbing thing is the US Army. There's something called US AMDO or something like that. They're also major funders of KEMRI and Welcome, which I think Welcome is like a British NGO or something like that. The warfare is real. And we're being distracted by all these political, nonsense. Atina Sakaja's being impeached. Sijui Mandela has been invaded. Sijui one term, no term, two term. As they come directly for us, family. Because the technology now has reached a level where they can actually create targeted diseases. So they're not going to be using weapons of mass destruction, guns and bombs and stuff. They're collecting our DNA so that they can now map out specific diseases to take out specific nations.
Kenya is for Kenyans and Kenya should be developed for Kenyans. Listen to what Justin had to say about Kenya for Kenyans.
Karura has been preserved greatly by communities. Communities are the ones that have kept Karura alive. Removing the resources that they need to continue doing that is detrimental to the future of Kenya. Having a tarmac road in somewhere that's supposed to be a sanctuary, at least in this particular city, that Nikama green spaces are under attack. Like the soul of this country is like, it can't be green, it has to be cabro. You have to really be afraid of like what Kenya is going to look like. Instead of telling us about how Kenya should be like Singapore, we need a leadership that thinks of us. We need a leadership that thinks about Kenyans, with Kenyans, using the resources that we have. There's a wealth of information and intelligence and just creativity that is in this country. People are building stuff for Meta. People are building stuff for what is Elon Musk's company. Like all this open AI, a lot of extraction happens in this country, but nothing is poured back into, not monetarily. Even a tree even as a pedestrian, you're not safe. I try to cross roads anywhere in these counties particularly, and I'm very stressed. If you can't see people for the everyday person that they are and how much they need to be safe and protected and invested in, you're not going to build any new Singapore. Yeah. You don't build anything by bringing people from outside. You have to invest in the people that are here. And upholding the Constitution is not people begging you to do that. You have to do that because it is required by it. And if you can't, by the way, are
Kenyan churches taking advantage of naive young people in the country? A Kenyan man explains. Listen to this.
I think the Kenyan church takes advantage of young people. And they take advantage of young people because they are naive. A lot of young people need to reassess their roles in these churches and how much they are mutually benefiting. Because I don't think it's supposed to be a completely voluntary service. Like, you can't say you spend Thursday in the church, Monday in the church, Friday in the church, and then you go there again on Saturday and you spend Sunday, and they don't give you an allowance. I was hearing these young people talking in the back of my car when I was giving them a ride, and they were talking about how they've been asked to some conference and they have to buy like 5 different outfits. Where are these young people getting money to buy these clothes and they don't have salaries? These churches are taking advantage of these young people to grow, and you find the people at the top of the church, they have salaries, and they have medical benefits, and they have medical cover, and they have, at least the people who are paid, the pastors and the top, but the people who actually run the church. This thing should be made illegal. I mean, if someone is working more than 3 days, they should be aware that this person is given an allowance, a living wage to transport themselves there, to have medical cover, to have allowance for clothes, to have a living wage. At least, if it's not a salary, it's something, an allowance that someone can live on. Because some of these young people dedicate so much time and they have so much love for these churches, but these churches are starting to take advantage. And you can clearly see that.
So, church goers, do you think this is true or not? Are churches taking advantage of our people?
I have a question for you. If God wanted us in heaven, then why did he create us on earth? Why are we here? Now all of a sudden we're here discussing how and what are we going to do after we die. Who cares about what we die? Let's stop talking about the dead. The issue of churches. Are churches buildings? Are churches hearts? That's where trouble begins. Because once people gather together, there are bills to pay. The same Bible says, I don't dwell in houses that are built by men. I dwell in a house that I built for myself. Therefore, your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost. Now, if your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, what the hell are you doing for in church? Has the gospel now become a marketplace where pastors are selling hope, selling us cities that are in the sky? Are we in a hurry to go to heaven? Are we in a hurry to go to heaven? Because we failed to live on earth. You want to walk on the streets of gold when you get to heaven. Have you ever held a bar of gold in your hands while you're on earth? You want to go and look after God's heaven when you cannot look after your own earth here. So the whole issue of theology becomes pastors are now selling for us a home in the sky.
Along Nairobi-Nakuru highway, sinkhole has appeared. Like, Kenya is not only sinking in corruption, but also sinking physically in real life.
Wacha kaya hapo trend hapo. Huwa anaanza trend, unafanya trend hapo. Huwa unafanya trend bwana. Huyu ni mwenyeji.
For how long will we talk about corruption in Kenya? A section of Kericho MCS alleged senators were bribed with over 50 million Kenyan shillings to shield Governor Eric Mutai from impeachment last week. Listen to this.
We were the Senate. We saw with our eyes. Senator Bomet calling one senator, to a room there, at the room, at the corner there. I saw 24 senators being called to a room. They were given some envelopes, big ones. I don't know what was contained in those envelopes, but one senator was going in and coming out. One in going out, going in and coming out. So we are saying, the president the other day said the Senate is Sokohuru. I can authoritatively and confirm to the nation that indeed Senate ni Sokohuru. You saw for yourselves. They took 3 days discussing on a technicality how did this machine operate in Kericho. Did you get 33? Later on they agreed the Senate Speaker asked ICT Authority of Kenya to evaluate, audit the votes in Kericho that was electronically done. When the report came back from the ICT Authority, they started again puncturing holes in a report from an authority. That means they had a predetermined mind. Because this is an independent authority. That's why they are called ICT Authority. They are the authority in this country. So again, Senate said, you voted in Laikipia? You voted in Litein? You voted where? How? Senators, you are the senior house. You have embarrassed this country. You've embarrassed us. We saw for ourselves, and we are telling the president, Your Excellency, the Senate is a big letdown.
Senator Moses Kajwang lectures Governor Kihika for hiring an incompetent accountant who is not a member of ISPAC supervising CPAs. Is Nakuru County really in safe hands?
You are the foremost accountant in the entity. A member of ISPAC, I believe so?
Not yet, sir.
How are you head of accounting services and you're not a member of ISPAC? Supervising CPAs, Governor. How does that? Because those are positions of merit. They are not like the CC and CO positions.
We actually had one director. And Chair, I think there's something that I need to go back a bit. I know you said let's not talk too much about that, but it's important for the record. On that advert, when it says to the county secretary and head of public service, it's just an office that where there is a, what is it called?
No, Governor, let me guide you. It's not an issue. So,
okay.
Senator Delegwe has stated it.
Okay.
Don't go back to it.
Okay.
We want to find a solution.
Yes.
And I want to make a recommendation to ISPAC to hold one of your professionals accountable.
That's fine.
And that's what I'm trying to identify.
Okay, I just took offense, not offense, but I just was taken aback when it was put on the record that
no, leave that
so
alone.
I was just correcting that. As far as the one who was, what was his name? Director Finance was Mongai, who just recently retired. He is the one who had that designation. We are currently recruiting for that position, for the director.
So to put it in context, Nakuru County does not have a county public service board, does not have an audit committee, does not have a chief officer finance, does not have a qualified head accounting services. 4 very critical institutions in the county. How do you expect to achieve your goals, Governor, in the absence of those very critical structures?
Chair, I think it's just it's unfortunate that a lot of it lapsed at the same time.
Boniface Mwangi's son publicly addresses the nation. This is what Net Mwangi had to say.
Good afternoon, terrorists. It took me 3 days to come up with that joke. Thank you for laughing so much. So, excuses are merely nails used to build a house of failure. Today is Katiba Day. 15 years ago, Kenyans overwhelmingly chose their constitution, capturing their hopes and dreams for themselves and future generations to come. Today, I stand before you as one among that young generation they had in mind. A generation of strong young men and women who look at this country every day and wonder what it has become. Ours is a country bleeding with so much potential. Potential beyond what you and I can comprehend. Therefore, as part of that generation, I stand before you and say, we are tired, we are angry, we are disappointed when we look at this country and see bloodshed instead of beauty. Knowing Kenya is better than this, better than seeing the lives of peaceful protesters taken by the same officers who sought to protect them. We are victims of corruption, of greed, and of evil that stalks our journey as an independent and free people. But my fellow Kenyans, do not be disheartened. Change is coming. My name is Nate Simpiwe. You know me as the son of Boniface Mwangi, the People's Watchman. But to my close friends, I'm just Nate. My father used to leave our home very early in the morning, long before I'd woken up, and got home long after I had gone to bed. At first, I assumed he didn't love me as much as he claimed to. But as I grew older, I grew to understand. Understand the reality of his actions wasn't a lack of love, but of too much love. Love that extended well beyond the confines of our household, but to the borders of this country. You see, he loves my siblings and I so much. He wanted us to grow up in a country we could be proud of. A country we could claim heritage with confidence. A country where you can believe in the beauty of your dreams and where you can thrive off your education, hard work, and talent. For my father, if there's a child hungry in Homa Bay, it bothers him, and it must bother you and I. We are all Kenyan, my friends. We all hurt together, love together, and triumph together. Yet the reality is that since 2010, the promise of our constitution continues to be delayed. Our rights often feel like suggestions, and the constitution is treated like an option, not the law. Last year, I saw Kenyans shot in the streets for exercising their right to protest. Can you imagine? The young people are working hard in school, only to be launched into a country that wants to send them abroad to work as servants. It is not yet Uhuru. It is not yet. I was only 3 years old when the Constitution was passed. Yet I know that we cannot give up on the promise of our Katiba. In 2027, I will get the first chance to register as a voter and exercise my right to vote. My generation has shown they're ready to give our strength, our commitment, and even our lives to achieve the dream of a prosperous Kenya. And so today, I want you to join me as we listen to the People's Watchman, my friend and my father, Mr. Boniface Mwangi. Today is a moment for unity, togetherness, and progress. My dad has given his life for the dream of a united and prosperous Kenya. It gives me great pleasure and joy to invite you to stand with me as we approach him to the stage.
Challenge si wote. Hii ni challenge ambayo sote tunajua. Twende. Haya, twende. Hii ni challenge ambayo sote tunajua, si ndio? Haya, twende hapa. Kila mtu piga tu mguu. Ama kama uko na mguu za right gani sawa? Haya, twende. Twende juu sawa, twende chini, twende juu sawa. Haya, twende. Wewe watu wa mbele wezi DJ leo DJ tunaanza from the top. Hakuna peke mtu unaweza kaa mbele na umesimama kama pole.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. See you in the next one. Bye bye.